Hi, I'm Attorney Tom Lamb in North Carolina. In this Asbestos News Minute, I want to continue our coverage of the W.R. Grace asbestos criminal trial taking place in Montana. As background, this involves the alleged contamination of the town Libby, Montana by the W.R. Grace mining of vermiculite, which is a form of asbestos. On April 15th, Kathleen Kennedy, who previously worked as an epidemiologist for the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, otherwise known as NIOSH, said that top officials with W.R. Grace and Company stymied government efforts to study the health effects of Libby vermiculite. Ms. Kennedy testified that when she and her research team contacted Grace and explained the study, they were met with resistance from top W.R. Grace officials. She added that they told us that they did not want us to do our study. However, lead Grace attorney David Bernick said numerous government agencies, including NIOSH, had already studied the potential hazards of the vermiculite which W.R. Grace was mining in Libby, and he added that Grace stalled as concerning Ms. Kennedy's request because the company didn't agree with the thrust of the NIOSH study and thought it was plowing the same ground that earlier government studies had already established. Meanwhile, W.R. Grace defense attorneys continue to assert that this trial has been tainted by prosecutorial misconduct. According to Bloomberg News, defense lawyers representing W.R. Grace and Company are claiming perjury by Robert Locke, a former Grace executive and now a key prosecution witnesses. They also complain that prosecutors failed to turn over to the defense attorneys favorable evidence and that these acts of misconduct by the prosecutors have irreparably tainted this environmental crime trial, which they say, or which many people have said, is the largest such trial in U.S. history. The defense says that prosecutors improperly withheld evidence, including 128 pages of emails between Locke and an EPA, or Environmental Protection Agency, special agent named Robert Marston. Judge Donald Malloy, who's presiding over this trial, has scheduled a hearing for tomorrow, April 17th, to consider these defense claims of prosecutorial misconduct, and in particular the request that Robert Locke's 3 days of trial testimony be stricken from the record. As regards the prosecution, Assistant U.S. Attorney Chris McClain told Judge Malloy that the defense wasn't offering the whole story. Tomorrow should be an interesting day in Missoula, Montana, which is where this trial is being had. The hearing will be outside of the presence of the jury when we hear what was said at the hearing to the extent it's public record, and we learn of Judge Malloy's ruling on the defense request about striking Robert Locke's testimony and other sanctions perhaps concerning prosecutorial misconduct. If he finds that there was any, we will report that here. More generally, for information about asbestos exposure and asbestos diseases such as asbestos-related lung cancer and mesothelioma, visit asbestoslegalwatch.com. Thank you and have a good day.